Hi everyone. So in this particular video, we will learn about security group and NACL. So both of these are important topics and both are used for security related things. So they operate at a different level. So we will learn about that and we'll see how it works. Correct. So let's move to the PPT. And here we will see that this is the slide for security group. As you can see from this particular diagram. So the security group is applied over the EC2 instances. So as you can see, this is the VPC, and within the VPC, it's the subnet, and within the subnet, if you see on the subnet level, there is a NACL which is applied, and within this particular subnet, these two are the instances where security groups are applied. So when any request comes, that will come to the BPC, then it will come to at the subnet level, and then it will be checked with the NSCL, and then further it will be investigated through the security group, and then the response, your request will go to the EC2 instances. Correct. So from theoretical point, you can see it acts as a virtual firewall for your EC2 instances. That's your security group. By default, it denies all inbound traffic and allow all outbound. That means any of the request can go outside from the your issue to the outer world, while it does not allow any inbound rule. That means any of the incoming request can't come to the EC2 until and unless it's allowed explicitly. Correct. You can modify rules for a security at any time that you can get into your EC2 security group from AWS console and you can change the rules. Either you can open any kind of port or you can change any kind of destination or source you can change. Correct. One security group can be attached to many instances and vice versa. So we will see all these examples in another slides. So let's move to the next slide now. So as you can see here, it's the EC2 and then there's a security group. And here's our physical machine, and this is the Google search engine, correct? So if we make a request from our physical machine, that's our laptop, it can be our laptop. If you make a request for your EC2 instances, it will go to your EC2 instance. And then if it's allowed from the security group, it will return your request to the search engine and it will serve the response, correct? So as you can see from the point, security groups are most basic, native, and important for all. It has inbound and outbound both kind of rules, and it supports only allow rules, does not support deny or block rules, while NACL supports deny and block both rules. So that is also important point. It only supports allow rule. There is a one secure default security group also, which is created at the time of VPC creation, which is created as default VPC, default security group, and all those things. Security groups are also called as stateful. That means whatever rule you define in your security group, it remembers that particular security group and allow that particular particular port and request to get outside. Correct. So like. While in NACL, whatever you allow in inbound rules, you will have to explicitly define the same source and the destination, correct, and the port number, protocol to get outside. But here in the security group, it remembers all the things. That's why it's called as a stateful, while NACL is called as a stateless, correct? That you can see from the topic. Then there is a pictorial diagram of the security group. If you can say how see how inbound and outbound is defined. So you can see here in the inbound rules, it's the TCP protocol port number 80, and this is the source 123 4/32. And this is the IP of our physical machines, correct? So if I'm making a request from my physical machine and that is allowed in the inbound rules, it can get the access within the EC2 instance. So that means a request can be made to the EC2 instances. And as we saw in the previous slides, that it's the stateful. That means whatever the request will come to the EC2, by default, it will allow that request to get outside. So if I'm making a request to EC2, I will get the return traffic from EC2 to the physical machine, correct? There is nothing defined here in the inbound rules. So let's come to the next scenario of the security group. Here you see in the inbound rules we have defined nothing. Like my physical machine is not defined in the inbound rules, and we have in the outbound rules we have mentioned that any of the request can go outside. Destination is 00. So any of the request can go from EC2 to the internet, correct? The 00, that means the internet anywhere. But it does not allow any kind of kind of source into inbound rules. So as you can see, if I'm making a request from my laptop to this machine, it will not allow. While EC2 can access internet, correct? Coming to the another slide, if we have 2345 as a physical machine IP, and that is not allowed here, and that means 1234 is only allowed, 2345 is not allowed. I won't be able to access the AC2, correct? So that's another scenario. In the similar way, if you can say 2345, if we allow it, we can do the SSH from our machine laptop to the AC2, and so on. So these are the different scenario you can see. AC2 to AC2 communication, if we have to make, so you can define your inbound and outbound rules in AC2A and then AC2B. So here we have allowed outgoing rules like this EC2A has the outbound rules for second EC2. So we have mentioned the the IP address of the second EC2 machine. So that will be the destination. That means the first any of the request which will be made from first EC2 to the second EC2. So it can go there. So that's defined in the outbound. And which kind of traffic is second EC2 can accept? So that should be the IP address of the first machine. So that is defined here in the inbound rules. So you can see. So by defining inbound and outbound rules in this way, you can make the communication between these two instances, correct? So moving forward, you can see we can define all traffic, all protocols, and all these things as well. So in the similar way, if we get into this default security group, if you see it's all traffic are allowed, that's the default security group. Let me move to the summary of the security group. It's a single security group, can be attached to multiple instances. That means only having the particular IP address defined in inbound rules, and that can be applied to multiple instances. That kind of thing we can do. Single instances can have multiple security group. That is also true. All inbound traffic is blocked by default, and outbound is authorized by default. So it supports IPv4 and IPv6 traffic both, and security group are stateful as we saw earlier as well. Now coming to the NACL, NACL works on subnet level as we saw on the last slide as well. So a virtual firewall that controls inbound and outbound traffic at subnet level. Your account's default NACL allow inbound and outbound traffic. It allow everything, but you can modify it by adding your own rules. It's kind of passport control officer as a network. So that means it does not remember whether you have come in or not. So it will check at every time, whether whenever you come inside or you go outside, it will check for every time. That means it's stateless. It does not remember anything, correct? And it applies over the subnet level. Just like the security group we have seen, you can see here all the we can define our inbound rules, outbound rules. It works on subnet level, contains both allow and deny rules. The second point and the third point, rules are evaluated in order of rule number. That means if you define three rules here for your NSCL, like to get the access over the subnet, so it will be evaluated in 101 and 100 and then 100th and second. So it will be evaluated based on their priority numbers, rule numbers. While in the security group, all the rules are evaluated at one time. So it's initially a great way of blocking a specific IP at the subnet level. So we can block. So that as we talked about, it also supports allow and deny both kind of thing. So we can either allow the one kind of traffic or we can deny any traffic which is coming from a specific source. So that kind of thing we can implement over here. Then moving forward, next slide. As you can see here, we have all traffic in the inbound. We have made all traffic as a denied. So no other than this physical server, like the physical machine inbound request, none of any other request can go to the EC2 machine as we have denied all the internet related request as a deny, correct? So my machine can make a request to EC2, but no other any request can be made to that. And the inbound rules, if you can see, any outbound rule is also denied. That means no request can go outside. Only the request can go to the your physical machine only. That means only physical machine can make the request to the EC2, and it can serve the response back, But yeah, internet can't make any request to EC2. Neither EC2 can get the access of the internet, as it's blocked in inbound and outbound both. So this way you can define your NACL security groups, NACL rules like inbound and outbound. Then this is how you can explicitly deny in the inbound rules of NACL. You can define that you don't want any inbound rule from port 80 or the TCP kind of protocol. You can deny that, correct? So from this particular source, 19, 11, 12 slash 32, then you won't get any request that it's denied. So this is how you can define your outbound, inbound, and you can check for other inbound and outbound rules as well. Correct. So let's come to the comparison part here. So security group versus network SCL. Security group operates at EC2 instances or ENI level, while network SCL operates at subnet level. Security group supports only allow rules, while NACL supports both allow and deny rules. Security groups are stateful. That means return traffic is allowed, while network SCL, it works as stateless. That means return traffic needs to be authorized in outbound rules as well. So you will have to explicitly define inbound and outbound rules here. While security group, all rules are evaluated before making a decision. That means if you write down five inbound rules, so all the inbound rules will be evaluated at once, and then permission will be granted to your servers, correct? While NACL, it is evaluated based on the order. While like you have defined one, two, three. So first request will be evaluated, and based on that, it can pass your traffic and so on. So yeah, that's it for today. We will come with another topic in next video. Thank you.